Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your weekends. I'm sorry I didn't get this out to you at the weekend. It's been quite a hectic one, so I'm doing it today instead. I've been dying to get these out to you. Now I'm sure there are a million and one Hexagon box tutorials on the internet. I actually did have a look at some after I had done one myself, because I'd never made a hexagon box before in my life, not sort of freehand, but anybody who knows me knows I love working with my products that I already have, and I do have a lot of Tonic products. So what I thought I'd do, although I showed you the bigger box, I thought what I'd do is I would show you the smaller one first, because I'm aware that maybe some of you are new and you might not have anything else in your stash. You might be completely new, so I thought I would show you how to make one with this first before I show you how to make the other box, which is using this layering set. I will say you probably can actually do this anyway. You could probably go onto the internet and get a template for a base to cut round for your hexagons. So I might actually try it out myself after I've done this, but like I say, I like to use what I have, and if what I've got works, then that's it, I'm going to use it. So this is the hexagon box. I've just decorated it, you know, pretty simple decoration here. We've used everything in our set that is possible to use in our set on the box. Excuse me, on this one, and this one is exactly the same, and I've kept this one a bit plain because wouldn't that look so pretty for a wedding gift? You know, you could have just married, you know, as I did it up, I thought, oh, that would look really pretty, you know, wedding themed boxes. But if you notice what I've done, and this is why I wanted to do this, to show you, if you can sort of see, I've actually cut down on this one a shorter lid. So you can actually even personalise the size, the height of it. This is a short one. It actually goes a lot longer than this, but I cut 6 centimetres off of this. So you can get it even taller than this one. But because we're making it for our memory books, I thought I would cut mine down so that my memory book would fit in there, and we've still got plenty of room to put a bow. Now I will stay with this one, like I say, and the reason I'm doing this one first is because I wanted to show you how you could use what you already had. Now, as I said, with this box that you can make from your memory book, you're using this outer edge die, so that is your lid and your base, and I'm going to show you how to do it now. But it is only, this is the book which is the second size down, so it's obviously not going to fit the biggest book in here. It will only fit from the second size, so you can still get 4 sizes of box. All you have to do is just go down one. So if you wanted a box for this one, then you just go down a size, and you can use the layering dies instead for your box. Do you see what I mean? But I wanted to show you the biggest one that you could make within the set, and it will hold this box. Let's just show you. I haven't decorated inside yet, but just to show you, that's going to fit in there, okay, perfectly. Now you may think, oh, well, that's quite a bit of room, but if you're going to start putting bows on the edges, do you understand what I'm saying? You need this room. Maybe put some tissue paper in it if you're giving it as a gift. That space you're going to need. You don't want something that's so tight, because like I said, this is just a plain one that I mocked up just to show you that that's how it will fit in there. But yes, you want room is what I'm saying. You want room, because like I say, if you're going to put bows at the sides, you know, of here, you're going to put a bow in the side here, you're going to put bits on the side, and then like I say, maybe wrap tissue paper, then you're going to need that size anyway. So let's show you how we do this. Okay, so first of all, what you're going to need to do, and I'm showing you, you're going to need to cut down 2 of these using the outer edge. Just making sure I know what the time is so we know how we're going. So using the outer edge die. So remember how it cuts again. If you're new, if you've been making them, you know that it cuts with a piece here. That's to make your memory book. That's to make your edges, to make your spines, to make your flips and flaps. You're cutting down there. So that, you're cutting down the edge. So you need 2 of those, okay? So you're going to cut down 2 of those and you're going to put those to one side. Now, next you are going to need a scoreboard. You could do this. You could do this without a scoreboard. I'm going to have to sort of turn it. I'm going to try and do it straight for you. So you're going to need a scoreboard because we're going to manually make the panels ourselves and we're going to make the lid ourselves. So let's show you how to make the panels first. It is so simple. You don't really need, as long as you've got an A4 scoreboard, you don't need this. I think this is an A3 one actually. It must be. I've had this for yonks. Right, so what we're going to do, and I have my own template here as well. Okay, so first of all, you're going to take your A4 piece of paper and you're going to butt it up right to the corner of your scoreboard. Make sure it's really straight and flat here, okay? You're then going to score a line at 9.5 centimetres, okay? You're then going to score a line at 19 centimetres. You're then going to score another line at 20 centimetres, okay? So 9.5 is your first line, 19 is your second line, and 20 is your third. You're then going to turn your piece of paper round, again making sure it's really butt up to the side, and you're going to score at, what did we do, 2 centimetres, okay? And that's it. That is how simple making your panels are. Now you're going to need to do 3 of these. So that is going to have to be done 3 times because we're using 3 of the panels, right? And I'm going to show you how to cut that down in a minute, okay? So remember, you need to do that 3 times. So 3 A4 sheets of paper, exactly the same way as you did it, 3 times, okay? So this one, for the lid, you're only going to need to do once, okay? So we're going to score down at 9.5 centimetres and we're going to score down at 19 centimetres and we're going to score down at 28.5 centimetres, okay? Now, how did I do this? I turned it around this way, okay? So you turn it around with your smallest flap to the top, okay? It shouldn't matter. I don't think so, I don't know, but just in case it does, you want the flap at the top, okay? So you're then going to score at 6 centimetres. You're then going to score at 7 centimetres. Moving along, you're going to score, make sure I can see that, at 13 centimetres and 14 centimetres, okay? That is it. You only need to do 1 of those, which is going to be your lid, okay? That's how simple it is. Isn't that quick and simple? Especially if you've got a scoreboard. Now, where I'm saying the centimetres, you could, if you wanted to, measure them and then maybe use, I don't know, you could probably use like a bone folder, a ruler. You know, you can, if you haven't got a scoreboard, if you just measure them at where I've said, you could possibly get a bone folder and maybe just score down that and then lift it up. You could do it that way. There are other ways of doing it without a scoreboard. Like I say, you can measure in lines. Right, so I'm going to quickly show you how to cut these. Now, if you've got a trimmer, paper trimmer, I would recommend doing it on there. But I'm going to show you slowly how we do it, okay? So, we're going back to our panels of our box. Now, yes, you can see it. That's how your panels come out. Now, remember, I'll get that right in there. We need 3 of these. We need 3 of these. So do this 3 times. Now, we don't need this part, okay? That's our waste. So we're going to, and I'll bring it up, you're going to use your paper trimmer and you're going to cut down on that line. That's our waste. That's your little flap, you see? So you're going to cut that completely off, because we don't need that. But don't throw that away, because obviously you can use that for scrap. So that is what you're left with, okay? So we've got our little flap, and these are forming our panels, okay? This is forming our flaps, where we're going to stick them on. So we're going to make our flap. So this little corner is another little corner you want to get rid of, because you don't want that, okay? Let's just make that bit straighter. So you will do yours, like I say, with the paper trimmer. So that's the corner we went off. We're then going to chop these corners off, okay? And like I say, this is the first time I've ever done boxes. I've never made a box before in my life, and I had to just kind of work it out myself. And do you know what? It really is so easy. And I tell you what, if you do this, you're going to be away, because once you realise how it works, you're going to be making all kinds of sizes of boxes, which was what I was doing. And it's really good because you really can personalise them. You know, you can. So that is what you get, okay? So if you can see, if you have been using Tonic products for a long time and you have got the panels, you'll start to see the similarities between the Tonic panels and these. Do you see what I mean? So if you've used the products before, then you're like, ah, I see what we're going to do. Now, you could chop these as well and make a panel. It's entirely up to you if you want to chop them, make 2 corners here and here. I don't. I like it to be flat at the top. I don't like to have that ridge. So I personally don't, but you can if you want to. It's personal choice. So you need to do that 3 times, okay? You need to do that 3 times because we need 3 panels, right? We need 6 sides. 2, 2 and 2, so 3 times. So that is your panel. Now, before I take it away, this is where you're going to determine what size you want box, okay? Now is the time to decide, do I want a shorter box? Now, I cut 6 centimetres off mine. I'll just show you. At this stage, I decided, because that's a nice size for your book. It's more than enough for your book. So can you see, I chopped 6 centimetres off the top. But do you see how big you can make your box? Let me just show you. I should show you at the end, but do you see? That's how big your box can be. Really tall, right? You have a really tall box. But like I say, for this, I wanted to chop off. You could chop off more. It's entirely up to you. But now's the time to do that. Okay, so how do we get our lids? Again, you are going to use your paper trimmers, sorry, forgot the word there, or your guillotines. If you have them, use them, okay? But I just want to show you how these come out so you can see for yourself what you're looking for, what lines you're cutting down. Actually, can you see where I'm cutting? So that was like that before. Do you see that? So we're cutting this top of the tab. We're cutting on the top of the tab. Can you see that? That's where we're cutting, right? I think I've cut these ones the wrong way around. No, I might have actually. No, I haven't. No, I haven't, because you only need 2 panels. That's right. Okay, so that's what you get. This is what you get. Okay, can you see that? Let's do it that way. That's better. Can you see that? That's what you get. So now we only need 2 of these, right? Because we've got 3 sides there and 3 on the other. So now you're going to do exactly the same as what you've just done. Can you see that? So we're taking away that bit at the end, and then we're coming in, cutting a line down there to the middle, and we're just making a tab. Okay, that's all we're doing, is we're just making our tabs. So we're just cutting little tiny triangles out the side, like so, right, like so. I'm trying to do this so that you can see it. Can you see that? Oh, one more. And again here. Now, like I say, I'm sure there's 1,000,001 tutorials. Let's just make that a bit neater. There's 1,000,001 tutorials out there. But can you see that's formed now, your lid? That has formed your lid. Now, on one of these boxes, I'll show you which one I didn't change the size at the top, was I cut both of the panels down to 6 centimetres, but the lid I didn't change on this one. So that's what you get. You get pretty much equal sizes. They're not completely equal. This is a bit bigger, but that's what you get. Now, if you want to have a smaller lid, and I know it's not a massive, I know it's not a massive difference, but oh, I've got hair there. But can you see that's a bit smaller? So if you want to chop that down, see, I just took a tiny bit off. Can you see that off the top? I didn't take much off. I just took a little tiny, probably about 1 centimetre off that. Can you see, just to make that lid a little bit smaller than the bottom. So that's where you will sit there and decide what size you want it. You'll rough it all out. So after you've done all that, let's construct it. So this is what you get. So we've got our 3 panels. Yes, just try and do it that way. I want to try and do it so you can see them. The 3 panels, okay, and our 2 lid panels. Now, who can see, if you're a Tonic fan, who can see similarities, right? Now, I didn't know that they're actually this easy. Well, I say they're this easy. They are a bit tricky, I'm not gonna lie. It is much better when you've got dies doing the work for you, that's for sure. But it works. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start folding on our lines. Oh, also as well, don't forget you've got your two lids. So that is everything. That is what you need. Okay, 3 panels, a lid and a bottom, and your 2. That's for your lid on your box. Okay, it'll all become apparent. So we're going to start folding along these lines. Okay, we're going to start giving these a little bit of a fold. I'm going to move those 2 out the way for the moment because we're not using those. We're going to concentrate on the bottom. Okay, so like I say, if you've had Tonic products, if you have the Hexagon boxes, if you have the square boxes, what was it, Kaleidoscope, if you had any of these kind of boxes, the jewellery box, you will start seeing it like, oh right, yes, I see how this is going to work. So you will know exactly how to put it together if you've never done one. Like I say, I've been crafting for years and I've never ever made I've never made a box ever. Right, okay, so I don't know an easy way of doing this. I don't know whether it's easier to go around each panel and do it individually. You see, that's how we're going to do it. So the panels are all going to stick to the corners, Like I say, I don't know. I have put them on together, you see. You could possibly go around like that and maybe do one at a time. Do you understand what I'm saying? I haven't done it that way. I put them all together, and then I'm just wondering if this might be a bit easier doing them separately for you, so you can see how they're going on. Let's give it a stab. Not like me to do anything off the cuff. Right, okay, so we're going to put glue along the bottom, and it's really important that you get some glue right up to the edges, because you really want this to stick. You really do want this to stick, because I've done it a couple of times now. I made a few of these boxes. I got so carried away. I absolutely love them, because you can, like I say, you can personalise, and they're much harder work. If you've got the dies, you know, if you've got dies, use them, but you know, we can only make with the other box, we can only make that size with the kaleidoscope, because the other one was octagon. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this up to our edge, and we're going to just give it some guidance, make sure that it's right up to the edge of the paper. Okay, really stuck down. Again, taking this right up to the edge, each edge together, right? Maybe this is a better way, fingers crossed, like I say, off the cuff. Off the cuff, as per usual. Right, so that's one panel. Now, it is going to look a bit funny when you first do it, but trust me, when you get that lid on, it really shapes up. And also, as well, I will say, you're going to be using, excuse me, sorry, just have a glass of water, sip of water. You're going to be using a 300 GSM here. I'm not using a 300 GSM because I have run out. So you will use a 300 GSM for yours. So yours is not going to be as difficult, because it'd be nice, you know, your card's going to be nice and strong, so it'll stick down much better. I don't know what GSM this is. I don't even think this is, I'm wondering if this is even a 200. It's very flimsy. But listen, if it works with flimsy card, it's going to really look lovely with 300 GSM. Right, so let's see if this works. Okay, so remember, you want your little panel, your stick down panel, to be on this edge opposite ways, right? Because that's where you're sticking it to. So now let's go in, making sure that's all lined up. So this might work out better. All lined up to the panels. Okay, nice and neat. Nice and neat. Okay, I'm going to go in with some glue on this panel. And I'm just rubbing that right into the corners, okay? Like I say, I think it's going to work much better with yours, with the 300 GSM. I really do think it's going to work a lot better. Actually, this isn't a bad way of doing it. Can you see what I'm doing? You see, I'm butting it up to the edge, making sure it's nice and neat. And like I say, I've not done it this way before, so say a quick prayer. Say a quick prayer for me. Right, here we go. Last panel. This actually might, I'll tell you, if it all goes together perfectly at the end, then this is a much better way of doing it, rather than sticking the panels together. And I'll tell you why, because the panels are really big, and I did struggle sticking the panels together, if you know what I mean, first, and then putting that on afterwards. So, okay, remember our little lips to this side where we're sticking on. So let's see if we can go in. I might need to get right in there in a minute and just, let's have a little, we're using wet glue as well. Yes, definitely use your wet glue for this. Do not use tape, because you really want this to be You really want this to be stuck down neatly, nice, and you need that wiggle room. So 100% definitely use glue, wet glue. Okay, I'll give that a little clean in a minute. And make sure yours is really stuck down. Okay, give that some real pressure there. Right, so we're going to go in with the glue on the lips. I think this is actually going to work out to be a much better way of doing this than putting them all together. Okay, I'm just running, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want glue on every bit. I want glue on the corners. I really want this stuck down. Okay, this is definitely a much better way of doing it. Let's pop some glue on that inside edge. Oh yes, I like this way much better. Like I said, the other way I did it was putting the panels together first, and then let's just pop that down. That's nice and neat. And then doing it, but actually I think this is much better. So can we see that? Lovely. That's perfect. There we go. Now, like I say, you might, it's not too bad actually, but you might think, oh, it's a little bit misshapen, that we've got a little bit oh, it doesn't look right, it's not going to fit. Trust me, it will. It really will. Just have faith. Have faith, because I did exactly the same. I'm just making sure that all these edges are all stuck down. Okay, pretty happy with that. So let's move that to one side while we do the lid, okay? Now this is all the same principle as when you're putting together any of the makes, really, I think from Tonic. It really is the same principle. Now, seeing as I've done it that way, I'm going to actually do it the same way for the lid, because I'll be honest with you, it's much easier. Now you're going to fold down your score line, especially with 3. So this is the harder part, I would say, of the box, is doing the lid, because do you remember Jodie always says to us when we were doing our kaleidoscope boxes and doing our lids to just leave a little bit of an edge, didn't she? Just leave a little bit. I'll show you what she means. We're doing exactly the same with this. We are doing exactly the same. So where this is going to be where your top of your lid is. Okay, this is going to be where the top of your lid is. Remember, Jodie always says we need a little bit, so this is very important because your lid won't fit on otherwise. So can you see that? Instead of sticking it straight like we have with the lids, you're going to give it a little bit of room, because we're using the same size hexagon lids with this box. You're going to need that, because like I say, it's not going to fit on if you don't. It's not, you probably can do it on that scoreboard. I'm pretty sure there must be a way of doing a hexagon on the scoreboard, but for quickness, and like I say, I always like to work with what I've got. So this is what we're going to do. Now, when I'm putting these together, I actually put this together in one go, but I'm actually thinking we could do this the same way, just making sure we're giving this a breather. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to do it the same way. Pressure. We're going to do it the same way. Right, let's go. Let's fly through this, because how are we doing for time? How are we doing? Like I say, aware of how long these take to upload. I'd stay here for as long as is needed, but it's just YouTube. Oh, and I was going to do, wasn't I? I was going to do a live on Facebook this weekend. I've not had the best of times the last few days. It's been, well, I've just had some family things going on, so I've not been able to, but I will get in there at some point. Right, make sure this is butt up right to the edge. Make sure really this is on the edge. You want that really nice and straight. Can you see where we're going in? Really nice and straight. Yes, you want that flat, straight, neat. Like I say, I didn't do it this way before, but you know what, people, 100% this is the best way. Don't stick them together, they're too big to work with. You know, it's too tricky to work with. As long as you're confident, once you get going and you know what you're doing with the lids, like I say, these really have to be butt up right, so you don't want to get anything out here. You really want to make sure this is lined up with that, with each edge. It's important. Okay, now we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that flap. Okay, don't stick the flap down yet. Okay. Remember, flap to straight edge, flap to straight edge, okay? Don't stick it down the wrong way round, otherwise you're going to have no tab at the other end to stick it to. Okay, right, so we're going down here again with glue. And like I say, it's really important that you get that glue right up to that edge. Because if you don't, it doesn't, you know, you really want to make sure it's stuck down correctly. Okay, so, ooh, let's just pop that lightly down there for a sec. And just, that's it. I just want to get that in. Right, straight, lined up. Really, you make sure you wait for yours to really stick down, okay? Make sure it's really well stuck down. I'm just trying to fly through this. There we go. Like I say, I'm just running my finger over that because I really want it stuck down right up to the edge. Okay, so yes, this is a much better way, people. I am glad I've done it this way now. Okay, so we're all nice and neat. Okay, we've made sure we're stuck to the edge. You are going to, like I say, wait for yours to dry. You're not going to get the bobbling I've got because you're going to be using a nice thick 300 GSM with this, and your boxes are going to look, oh, they're going to look so lovely. Okay, so here we go. Remember, we are not putting it up to the line there. We're not putting it up. We need a gap. Okay, we need a little gap. And we need that on each side. So exactly the same principle of what we did before with all our Tonic products is what we're doing with this. So isn't that great? So we're just going to give that a little bit of an edge. Okay. And don't worry if you think, oh, it's got a little bit. You can just chop that little bit off, and believe me, it's not going to make any difference. You've only got on this on two sides. Okay. It's not going to make any difference. Believe me, if you think, oh, it's giving it a bit of a corner, all you do is you just go in a little tiny bit and boom, it's gone, you see, gone. So that is the edge we want on it, okay? Little edge. We're going to do exactly the same on this side as well, right? Run that glue down there. Just want to make sure it's stuck. And again, you're going to give that an edge. You don't need too much of an edge on these. You just need an edge on both sides. Okay? Just need that edge. Right? Just need that edge. Okay? Look at that. Now, just wait for that to stick down. Now you can bring your box in, and don't forget you can decorate inside. You can cut another one of these out. You may need to chop a little tiny bit off the edge. I haven't tried it yet, but you can decorate inside as well and in the bottom. So you may have a millimetre, a tiny little bit to chop off, because like I say, you've got your box, so you may need to chop just a little tiny bit off, but you should be able to get those in there. So the moment of truth, and I'm confident. How easy was that, everyone? Who knew? Eh? Who knew? I didn't know. Right, do you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you how to decorate it. Why not? Let's show you. I'm sure I can fly through this now because I am all prepared. I've done the clever preparing of the, this is one I done earlier. I've done, this is what I did earlier. Right, so I decorate, and you will get, by the way, you are going to get little bends, but they're going to pop out once you start putting all your bits on it. They will pop out. So this is how I did it. I decorated it like that. I didn't take my lid off. We don't want any decorations underneath there because we haven't got any room to put anything underneath there. We've only got room to put it on here. So you're going to want to know the sizes. And the sizes are, for the top panels, which I'm going to start sticking on now. The top panels, there's 2 on there that we've chopped down. One is 5.5 by 9. The grey one is 5.5 centimetres by 9 centimetres. This panel here is 5 by 8.5 centimetres. Okay, these are for the top panels. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do this and see if I can fly through it. You may see my head. I might have to bring this down. Do put tape and do put glue, because you want these panels on nice and straight, okay? Nice and straight. So how easy was that? And like I say, I had never ever made, see, this is the thing, when you get these, you know, dies, they kind of, I'll tell you what they do. If there isn't something, if you want something like we have, like we wanted a bigger box, these dies have also, you know, made us go and look and do these things for ourselves. And sometimes it's quite, you get really satisfied. You get very satisfied when you know, achieve something yourself. Now, if I wouldn't have bought those lovely dies from Tonic, I would never have made a hexagon box. Do you see what I mean? So what I'm saying is it's pushed me to go completely out of my comfort zone and really concentrate and think, right, I can do this, let's give it a go. Do you see what I mean? So like I say, sometimes when you buy dies, you know, and you haven't got these extras for them, and I'm hoping that these are going on straight. I can't really see, but it's fine, it's okay. Yeah, it's kind of like I say, it's pushed me out my comfort zone. I've never done this before, ever. Not made it off my own, but these are really easy because once you've got the hang, when you do one yourself, you're going to realise how it's done. All you're doing is you're measuring the edges. You're measuring the edges of the hexagon. So whatever the measurements are of the hexagon, your base, you know, the base that you're cutting out, you're just literally doing panels to match that size. So in that instance, what did we have? 9.5 centimetres across. That's what the panels are. That's what your panels will be, is 9.5 centimetres. If you have, I think I'm trying to think, the next one we're going to do, which is using the layering set. That's the one you got a sneak peek of in the tutorial I did. Was it Thursday or Friday? That's the one you got the sneak peek of. I'm not sure, I can't remember what size panel that was. It's a bit bigger. It is a bit bigger. Let's just make sure I can see what I'm doing and I'm going in. Sorry, there we go, that's a bit better. I mean, you'll have all the time in the world to pop your panels on, but I just wanted to show you how quickly you can do this. So let's go one of those. I'm trying to get them all, so we've got one each the way round, so they're all 1, 2, 3. We do it that way so that they flow. I've literally just cut out all the scraps of the leftover paper. Now I didn't have enough to do the bigger box to put my bigger one in, but I will wait until the grey card comes, because I have got some grey card coming. So hopefully that should be here this week. And we're just, like to say, you're going to take your time. Take your time. I mean, I've done quite a few of these. That's pretty, isn't it? Just take your time with it. But yes, I tell you what, these are going to look lovely with those. Oh, I keep going on about it, don't I? I was just so frustrated I couldn't get those papers from Tonic. But I'll tell you what, you know, you'll be flying through the. Trust me, once you do these, I'm telling you, you are going to love them. You're going to go, oh, now I know what I'm doing, and you are going to fly through making more. And I tell you what, I'm going to do some of these for Christmas. I'm going to do some of these boxes for Christmas because I think they're going to look lovely. They're going to look really, really, really nice at Christmas. So I just wanted to show you, just in case you were interested in what I had done with my decoration on here. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want with them. The world is your oyster. It's like I say, you know, you can use them. That other box that I started doing, the grey, and I started doing it and I was going to decorate it, you know, with the new memory book dies with the honeycomb. And then I thought, oh, that would look, oh, let's be confident, let's not glue because we haven't got a lot of time, have we? I thought, wouldn't that look lovely as a, you know, for a wedding memory book, or even, like I say, presents. If you're using these, I'm really waffling today, but if you're using, you know, you're making these for gifts and you're using a nice 300 GSM, you know, you're really going to, it's going to look really lovely, you know. You can put quite, you'll be able to put quite a decent weight in there, I would have thought, with a 300 GSM, especially if you put a nice ribbon, you know, you completely tie it up with a ribbon, then it's really going to look amazing. Right, so I just wanted to, now we've decorated this, and that's what you're going to do, you're going to decorate yours, okay? What I did was just to make the, to put the ribbon round, just in case you wanted to know. I'm sure, again, you're gonna know how it's done. Just in case you don't, it's quite simple. All I did was take the smallest die in the set. So we've got this one, second one in, first one and second one, okay? Is that right? No, it's not. It's the outer edge one. So the one with the, you know, with the ridge there, with the flap, and then the inner one. So not the smallest one, it's those two. That's what I did, and cut one at the front. And all I did, because obviously I want to put a ribbon through the top, so all I did was I just put 2 pieces of foam on the back, 2 pieces of the 3D foam on the back of the box. Now, let's just see if we can get this in some kind of order. So we're going to pop, and I'm going to have to just, I'm sorry, move this down a little bit because I need to get this, you do need to get these straight, you know, they need to be level with each other because obviously, you know, you want the ribbon to look nice going around it. So I'm gonna tilt this a bit, sorry, towards me. I don't know if you can still see it, but I just need to get this straight because if I don't, it's, oh, I have to do it that way round. I literally used, this was literally using the scraps of the paper that I had left. Where are we? There we go. The scraps of paper that I had left over, and believe me, I used every scrap, every single tiny scrap of paper I used. Right, let's have a look, making sure we're nice and straight. Sorry, concentration. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We've got 2 more to go. And then I'll just show you it's so easy. And it just looks so pretty. And you can do it at the top or you can do it at the bottom. You can tie them up. 1 more to go. We're nearly there. How are we doing for time? Oh, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. Right. 1 more. Okay, so all you're going to do, simple, 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 and I don't even think you're going to need to, let's just take that off. don't even think you're going to need to use a threader because we've got two pieces of foam there. I haven't used it prior to it, so let's give us a nice long piece of ribbon. This one is a centimetre, and then all you're going to do, which one do we want as our front? I'm going to pick this one. So you're going to, oh, you can't see what I'm doing, can you? You're going to thread it through, and because you've got that, you see where I put the actual tape just at the top and the bottom, you can actually just thread that straight through your box, you see? So we're just threading it through like so, easy peasy. It runs through there as long as you've got a nice gap. Remember, you need that lovely gap. You need that gap in the middle. Make sure that it's, you know, if you've got 1 centimetre ribbon, 1 centimetre, and then all we do, I'll just turn it around, is we just tie it. And then you can, I mean, you can go to town with these. You can do what you want. You can, you know, you can decorate them how you want. But I just thought this looked really pretty with the hexagons. And seeing as we had them, I thought, you know, you'll do your ribbon the other way around. Sorry, I'm sitting this way around, so it's the other way. But oh, and then what you're going to do, sorry, we'll finish it off. Let's finish it off. Let's not do a half-hearted project. Let us go and finish the top. I should have done that first, okay? I'm just going to run some glue along the edge. Let's show you the finished product. I've done this, so I might as well make sure it's done properly. Okay, so we're just popping our sheet on the top, making sure it's nice and straight. Okay, you could have used tape actually on this, but there we go. So then you've got your little honeycomb, which is going to go up here. I don't know if I want to do that. And then we've got our beautiful memories. Should I do that? I don't know. I quite like that on its own. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's so pretty. Shall we do that? See, this is what I end up doing. I end up sort of thinking, do I want to? I mean, I actually have done these as well, because I was going to pop that on the top. We were going to have a lovely, beautiful memories at the top there. And I was going to put the bees. Let me just show you. See, now I'm not so sure because it looks so pretty on its own. But I was going to pop the bees all along the bottom and do exactly the same. Do you see? All the way down the bottom. And you can then put a ribbon on the bottom. But I don't know, I actually quite like that now, because sometimes less is more. But you get the picture. I think I'm going to have a think about that, because I really like that box. It's really quite pretty. So you could then embellish it. You could put a little bee, you know, a little bee on there. You don't have to obviously use your memories, you know, your honeycomb memories. You can use any of your products. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you may even have some panels that might fit these in some of the other Tonic boxes, and oh, there'd be lots of panels and lots of the other Tonic ones. But how pretty does that look? And it's so easy to make. It's not, you know, they're not difficult at all. They're really easy, you see? So anyways, I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. You can see the diversity, how pretty they look. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, because, you know, I think that you get the idea of it. I'm just trying to get my, I do have to have a tidy up in here as well. I think you get the idea of it, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another tutorial showing you how to do the whole thing again, but with the different sizes for the larger die, so you can get your larger book in it. Because like I say, this is using what you have, and if you only have these, this is just what you can get out of your set. But obviously your book is not going to fit in. It's this, do you understand? It's the same size, so it's not going to fit in. You need a bigger one for the big book. But this one will fit all your sizes down. Do you see? It's going to, that's the inside of the, let's see if I can move that along so you can see. That's how much room you're going to get. And like I say, you can put tissue paper. So I'll say it again. This is going to fit 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it's going to fit. But like I say, you would go down in size. You wouldn't need to have this size if you wanted to do a small. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that is using this set. So if you only have that set, maybe you want to do a smaller book, you know, the second size down book, this is going to fit it perfectly. And like I say, you're going to have plenty of room in there to put bows, you know, to put some tissue, anything you want in that box. So I hope that helps. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will come back and I will do the second box, which is the bigger one, tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and if you do want to hit subscribe, no pressure, please do, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.